right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High and the proper names in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. I want to say, Call Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash Ma'amaf. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorantly and willingly call God or Jehovah. Bahashem meaning in the name of. Yahweh Shai meaning he who delivers, whom the world ignorantly and willingly call JC today. I want to give a double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and another double honor to my elder as well, Ahar One, Biyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect pushing this truth across the four winds. And to the 1/3 remnant believers on Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, Shalom, Shalom. Quick lesson put together through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, and I pray that it be edifying. Salakia, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a lesson, concerning the fiery trial that's meant to try us, to basically present us as fine gold, to the Father and to the Son, and man, when I was just about to do this lesson, a whole bunch of hood rats came, or they was jumping this one girl, man. It's crazy. A whole bunch of hood rats, and they came up and tried to gang up on another Eve. They went to her house, knocked on her door, and I was just sitting here thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I got out and tried to break it up, but once I got to the fight, I said, man, this shit ain't my business. They need Jacob's trouble, cause every single last female in that was doing the fight and then jumping the other girl had to be like 13 years old, every single last one of them. And it's just crazy how they run around like complete hood rats with no guidance, man. And that's it. But I'm gonna start off in the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing have happened unto you. So right, man, this walk that we walk, man, it's not an easy walk, but it's not a lonely walk either. We have according to the world, it will be a lonely walk because the masses of the people are walking on a wide road, But us, we are comforted through the Spirit because we have Yahweh Shai to be there with us and to walk this walk with us. And we also have an example, He's our example when it comes to this walk and how we supposed to live, how we supposed to maneuver, or whatever the case may be. So it says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So, you're going to go through tribulation after tribulation, all the way up into the kingdom. But Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to deliver you out of every single last, test that we go through, from when our first day in the truth. It was always something. We was always fighting to cast off something to make it to the next level. All the way up into the kingdom, we're going to be fighting and trying to make it to the next level, and in that process, you can't skip steps when it comes to making it to the top. You have to basically step on every step, understand that step, and then you'll be able to make it to the next level. I was having a conversation with one of my brothers last night, one of my early brothers, and everything that I was doing years ago, 8-9 years ago, is everything that he's fighting with right now. So as he telling me his stories, I thought to myself, dang, I made it a long way, and I'm driving home after talking to him for hours, and you know how it looked like a shooting star, but this shooting star was going by really slow. It was slower than other shooting stars, but I knew it was a chariot. I was on the highway and I was driving, and it came in my peripheral. It sped up, then it slowed down, then it disappeared. So, I was just grateful for the fact that I made it such a long way, man, to where certain things that I used to deal with, it no longer bothers me, I still deal with, the certain things, anger, ready to snap, you know, or whatever case may be. I still deal with those things, but it's getting to the point to where I don't take my anger out on other people. I just deal with it myself. Like, when it comes to the people of this world, man, like, the people of this world, man, just be demons be hopping on them, and those same demons, Jake can't handle them. That's why they move extra emotional. To where when I was preparing this lesson before the females came up and started fighting, this car parked right in front of me. He had his high beams, in my face, and just off that situation, Jacob been and got out, and that could have started a whole, altercation or situation, because Jake moved extra emotional out here, man. They move based off their feelings, So right, man. The things that I was going through years ago, I no longer, dealing with those things, man. I just thank you, how about Shema Shah. So right, it says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happen unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So right, we know that when Yahweh Shai is exalted, ultimately he's going to exalt his brothers. And, I was thinking about that the other day, like, scripture say Yahweh Shai he gonna return and do what he do to the east, and then he gonna come to the west, as like lightning, So in that moment, just imagine when your favorite boxer finna come out, and that theme song play, his theme song playing, them trumpets and them horns blowing, right? And then now he finally stepped foot out. We see him in his glory, So he pull up on the east to do what he do to them nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, and then he gonna do what he do in our land, in the land of Israel. And he said, man, go get my brothers, man. We're going to Babylon. Next stop, Babylon. Let's go get my brothers. You see what I'm saying? So just imagine that, knowing that we suffered with him. We suffered with him 2,000 years ago. We mourned him 2,000 years ago when our people crucified him. And now we're going to be exalted with him. We suffer with him now by basically trying to be righteous in a wicked society. So right, it says, but rejoice as in much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yahweh rested upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. Right, and that's mainly every single last person, every single last individual in these Christian churches, man. Every single last person, individual in these Christian churches, they not for Yahweh Shai. He's evil spoken of. Your family members say, well, why you ain't come to Thanksgiving? You say, I don't celebrate them. I'm Israelite. They turn their nose up at you, because ultimately everybody's a Christian till the scriptures come out. Everybody love God until it's Christmas time. Then they love Tammuz. You see what I'm saying? They'll put that scripture away, and then they go run right to and worship Nimrod, Tammuz. So right, man. So on our part, it says, if ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yahweh rested upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. So right, on our part, he glorified, because we actually walking this walk. We talking the talk and walking the walk. About 2/3 of our people, they talking the talk, and then they run it out to Satan. It says, verse 15, but let none of you suffer as a murderer. Hold on, let me make sure. It says, but let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other man's matter. And that's 2/3 of our people. They'll say they'll make it to the top after shedding all type of innocent blood, selling all type of sorcery, witchcraft, committing all type of adultery, they do all these things. As soon as they make it to the top, the first thing they do is say, I just want to give my thanks to God, as if they was righteous the whole time. The whole time they was wicked, man. So right, it says verse 16. Yet if a man suffer as a Christian, and we are the true Christians, the true Hamashiachans, the ones that follow the anointed. 2/3 of our people, they don't follow the anointed. It says, but if a man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh on this behalf. So, right, we glorify Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, from separating us from the ways of this world, from separating us. So it gets to a point to now when we understand that we no longer can, be unsure of ourselves, or we no longer can have that spirit of looking down on ourselves, man. For what? Because at one point you was suffering, dealing with this demon. Now that demon don't bother you no more. You see what I'm saying? So now I can go outside and I ain't gotta say nothing to a woman at all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta say nothing to a woman. I don't care about the women. And that used to be one of my biggest problems, my biggest downfalls. I was old. Jodeci dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say Jodeci because I really ain't never listened to him. But I was one of them super simps that I do whatever a female tell me to do. I remember my little female my ex-wife, she used to tell me, you better not go to none of these parties. I used to be right in the house while she was outside at the party. Super simp. You see what I'm saying? I'm in the house. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point to where now, man, it ain't nothing a woman can do or say to control me at all whatsoever, period. And I can go outside and respect women as I respect my sisters instead of just wanting to see, lay with everything I see, because Yahweh Shai answered my prayers and delivered me from that. And I see how other people out there in the world, not only my friends, but out there in the world, how that demon still just eat them up, to where our women, they're damn near lay with any and everybody. If you got a name or some fame or some money, nowadays you ain't even gotta have money. The only thing you gotta have is a name, and people know you. They gonna bite, So notoriety in this society is like a worm on a hook. You throw that worm in a pond full of hungry fishes. Everybody gonna get to biting. That's why they at the club every week. That's why they looking for their next fix, their next venture. Looking for their next hood nigga, the next hood rat chick. You see what I'm saying? Because they still suffering, from the flesh, the ways of this world, man. So right. It says, verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? So right, even us in this truth, we already suffering. You know what I'm saying? We suffering daily. Like, I realized that I realized that Yahweh Shem Shai blessed me for the other day. This ain't the first time I realized it, but this the first time I started to real deal say, man, I'm doing good, instead of beating myself up all the time. Because I had a dream the other night, and in this dream, it was this woman that I used to work with. I used to work with the woman, and I remember I was celibate for a whole year. I said, after my year celibacy over, I'm gonna deal with this woman, because she was walking as if she was celibate with me for a little minute, and long story short, she went to do what she was doing, So, but it's like I actually, like the woman, or the case may be, not to get in my feelings or to spew out my feelings or nothing. I'm not in my feelings, but just, telling the story. And that woman popped up in my dream the other night, because I was at the gym in my dream. I was working out in the green room. The green room is where like the punching bags and stuff be, So I'm working out in the green room in my gym, and she signed up for my gym, but she go to a different gym. So she a gym sister too, but she go to a different gym. And in the dream, we was having, she walked up to me in the dream, and she was having casual conversation with me. Like, oh, how you been? I was like, I've been good, man. I just been, working out, getting to it, this and that. And then she flirtatiously put her hand on my shoulder, and I made her look like, bitch, get your hand off my shoulders, in the dream. And then once she put her hand on my shoulder in the dream, And I made that face like, bitch, get your hands off my shoulders. I looked at her in her eyes. I said, yeah, I'm dreaming right now. You see what I'm saying? So at that moment, I said, yeah, I'm dreaming right now. But before I realized that I was dreaming, I said, get your hands off my shoulders. That's a look that I had. And she seen the look on my face like, yeah, he ain't going for none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it just gets to a point to where once you really see yourself as a man, you know, you're not going to, because we as man, bro, we be physical creatures that like what we see, you know? So you would think so lowly of yourself to where the first female that give you some sort of attention, because, you know, in this society, we don't get that. Our people don't praise us. So the first time when somebody show you they praise us, I take it. You know what I'm saying? Auction block. I take it quick. It don't matter what it looked like, what it smelled like. You know, if it got some form of attraction and a look, and whether you like lips or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she fit the description on what you like, you're gonna take it no matter what her mindset is, or you're gonna at least lay with it, you know, because we physical creatures. But once you get to a point to where you strong enough to where that don't phase you, and this ain't got nothing to do with just women and lust. It could be with whatever vice you have, you know. So you basically learn to accept what you want to accept and not accept the first thing that come your way. You know, you never want to get to the point to where you accept the first thing that come your way, because then that shows that you don't really respect yourself as a man, or understand and know that the Lord can send you better than what you have, man. You know, or you can have something bad, and it could be something, you know, that ain't that bad over there that's better for you, and you can, you know, be a man and make the right decision on what spiritually fits you, basically. You know, so I'm gonna keep going. It says, Salakia, verse 17 says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? So right, if Yahweh Bashim Yahshua judging us every single day, what's going to be the end point of those that don't even care about the book, that don't even read, that don't care about what's written, you know, that just wake up and do whatever do whatever thy wilt, you know what I'm saying? Whatever feel good to them is what they do. So what's going to be the end of them? It's going to be utter destruction. The prophecy is going to come upon them, you know, the RFID chip, you know, ultimately they're going to take it because they ain't got no other choice, because the same things that was basically holding them back from reaching Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going to be the same things that they constantly chase. And now you're going to physically need a chip to even be able to get everything that you need, you know. And ultimately, this devil is going to put you in a further captivity. You know, now you need food, so you're going to run down to him for it. You know, ultimately, those 200 million missiles going to hit you and melt you, because the scripture said that 200 million missiles are going to hit Babylon the Great and destroy it. You know, the Lord said he's going to raise up every single last nation army against this place. And your only way out is the Lord. You know, so right. It says, for the time has come that judgment must begin in the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? And as the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Right, they're going to appear in that fire. You know, that second death, when the Lord basically destroy this whole country. You know, this whole, can I say continent? Yeah, this whole place is basically going to be a lake of fire. You know, you're going to have the Atlantic Ocean around it, the Pacific Ocean around it, the Gulf of Mexico around it, but it's going to be it's going to look like a lake on fire, because everything in the middle of the Gulf, the Atlantic, and the Pacific is going to be on fire, going to be burning, man. You know? So, right. Wherefore, let them suffer according to the will of Yahweh, commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. So, right. When it's all said and done with, we're going to suffer as Christians, man. You know, we're not just going to accept the first thing that come to us. You know, we're not just going to take anything, we ain't going for none, basically. You know, if you ain't walking according to how we want to walk, we're going to decide, you know, basically whatever it is, you know, because we use this world and we don't abuse this world. You know, brothers love females, you know, or what the case may be, brothers love what they love, you know. So it gets to a point of time to where we're not just going to accept anything when it comes to dealing with a woman. We're just not going to accept anything when it comes to dealing with family. You know, we're not just going to accept anything when it comes to dealing with anything, you know. That's why you see brothers all at the store Googling what's in their wine, because we not finna just accept the wine that Esau made just because we want a quick fix at that moment. Basically what I'm trying to say, because you can apply this to anything in life, not just women. But I just decided to use that because that's what I was dealing with, to where I was dealing with any woman. That was my problem. Now I can go to I ain't got to say nothing to you. You don't make me excited to want to hold a conversation with you, or whatever case may be, because the Lord took that away from me. Basically, what I'm trying to say. Right. And this is basically Acts chapter 9, and basically I'm gonna bring up the accounts of what Paul went through, and who he was before Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, called him into him, called him to come to be one of his disciples, basically. And it says, Acts chapter 9 and verse 10, it says, and there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias. And he said, behold, here I am, Lord. And the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth. And he, Salakian, and have seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. So, right, Paul was blind 3 days. He was blind for 3 days after Yahweh Bashim Yashai knocked him off the horse, and told him to go into the city. And he had a vision that a man named Ananias was going to come talk to him, and the Lord. So basically, the Lord set it up decently. Like, the Lord set it up to where everything happened according to his will. So, right, I'm going to keep going. So it says that he might receive his sight, verse 13. Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he have done to thy saints at Jerusalem. And Salakian. And here he have authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. So, right, no matter, how evil Paul was, when Yahweh Bashim Yashai chose him to come into that light, it says he was a chosen vessel. So basically us, brothers was doing all type of things in the world. Brothers done committed adultery, committed murder, brothers done committed every single last sin, But once Yahweh Bashim Yashai calls you and chooses you to be a chosen vessel, it's nothing that nobody can say or gainsay against you, But ultimately, you still gonna have to pay for the things that you did, And that's what we have to understand. David, he had to pay for his adultery. His own son, went into his concubines, and he lost his son because of it. And the sword never departed from his house, Right. You got to understand that Yahushua was once Solomon. Yahushua was once Adam. So the latch that was on his shoes that no man was able to bear, he had to go through that himself. But by him going through that, the whole earth is going to flourish. Wickedness is going to be taken away from us as a whole, by Yahushua making the sacrifice that he made, So, right, us, we was basically in the world doing all type of crazy stuff, all type of manners of wickedness, And Yahweh Bashim Yashai chose us and calls us. It says, verse 16, it says, it being a point, it says, for I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So, right, that was just the beginning. Him getting knocked off the horse, him going blind for 3 days. Oh, that was just the beginning. Brothers can attest to everything that we had to go through when we first came into this truth. We was going through a lot of stuff when we first came into this truth. We had a family coming against you, your women leaving you, getting your children taken away from you, losing cars, houses, jobs, just losing things, man. When it's all said and done with. So, all right, it says, for I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So, all right, and that's just what it is, man. For Yahweh Shemel Shah's name's sake, it says what? Think not the fiery trial, which is meant to try you, being a point. This fiery trial that we go through, is going to one day be a testimony unto us, So I'm going to get this scripture. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 20 says, for ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. And these are all things that Esau Edom do. Esau, he'll exalt himself over you in the courts in the courts. Put heavy burdens on you, bro. I remember, man. When the pandemic popped up, everybody in my apartment has got a note on their door saying, yeah, your rent going from $765 to $1,200 once you re-sign that lease. As soon as that pandemic, everybody. Before that pandemic, you would get here in Jacksonville, your 3-bedroom was $800. 2 bedrooms probably like $800. 3 bedrooms probably like $1,000. Now a 1 bedroom is $1,100 to $100, man. You see what I'm saying? That just shows this devil exalt himself over you. You've been there, got gripped up by the police, and they'll do whatever they want to do to you. It says, for you suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. And bro, that remind me of that video that the brother GMS in Rome, Lions on Fire did, saying basically he got locked up for teaching the truth. He was locked up at camp, and the judge, when they was reading on his charge, the judge said, calling the white man the devil. He tried to explain himself. The judge said even louder, calling the white man the devil. Gave him his sentence, a couple of 14 days, I believe. And he was fasting all that day. And the Lord made a pack of cookies out of fall out of nowhere, because he only had 1 pack of cookies in his bag. He was fasting all day, and he heard something hit the ground. He looked to the left, and there was another pack of cookies. So the Lord was with him in that situation, basically. It's all right. It says, verse 21, I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak, howbeit wherein soever any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also. So even though we weak, man, going through what we going through, we go through this fiery trial, we still, show up boldly as lions, knowing that we have Yahweh Shemel Shah, and Paul was going through a lot of things, man. It says, verse 22, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Hamashiach? I speak as a fool, I am more, and labors more abundant, and stripes above measure, in prisons more frequently, and death often. So he was going through a lot of things, man. Getting locked up. I believe he got locked up one time, and the Lord sent an earthquake, to let him out of prison. Even Peter, a physical angel came and released him from prison, man. When it's all said and done with, it says, verse 24, of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save 1. That sounds like 200, I believe. 40 times 5, I believe about 200 stripes. The Jews 5 times received out 40 stripes, and people were strong back then, man. They were eating real food back then. So depending on what he was getting hit with, and depending on how strong them dudes were that was swinging at, you know what I'm saying? So you got to let your imagination run wild. 5 times you got 40 stripes. So what the Lord said, I will show him how great things he had to suffer for my name's sake. So he had to pay back for all the things that he was doing. It says, verse 25, thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. So imagine, bro, I ain't never been on no boat. I'm not no boat type of. If I was to win a lottery or something today, I ain't finna go buy no boat. You see what I'm saying? I might buy an electric longboard, or whatever the case may be. I ain't finna buy no boat, So he said, thrice I suffered shipwreck. And it says, at night, a night and a day I have been in the deep. So imagine that, in the deep sea, shipwreck. Got to depend on Yahweh Shema Shai on if he want to cause the wind, to push you towards the island. You know what I'm saying? And I believe one time he was actually stuck on an island, shipwreck, on the island, then got bit by a snake. And it was a poisonous snake. As soon as he got bit, everybody looked and said, yeah, he dead. The Lord made him. Hey, the Lord basically preserved him, And it says, a night and a day I have been in the deep, and journeying often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, and perils by my own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in cities, and perils in the wilderness, and perils in the sea, and perils among false brethren. So imagine that, going through stuff back to back to back. Perils, he said perils, problems, strife, envy, whatever, just going through it. The Lord said for us, he said, what he said, basically we're going to go through from problem to problem, but he said he's going to deliver us in 6 troubles. Yeah, in the 7, there shall no evil touch thee. So we're going to go through the troubles. We're going to see the tribulations, but he going to, basically save us just like he saved Paul. Well, 2/3 of our people, scripture said the day of the Lord for them going to be as a man did run from a lion, and as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, and then he got away from that bear, ran into the house, leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. That's what it's going to be like for 2/3 of our people. They're not going to escape, but we're going to be able to escape just for a testimony and to build up our faith and know that Yahweh Shema Shai is with us. So after going through a certain amount of problem, you're going to be walking, and then one day a situation going to happen to where you got to run, right? So now you finally get up and start running, and you just know that Yahweh Shema Shai going to deliver you from that situation, and he might, all right, I'm going to take it a little bit further this time. Let him get caught. He might get caught, take him here. I want to see what he going to do and feel like all hope is lost, and ultimately watch, the miracles of the Lord take place. So, right, it says, and weariness and painfulness and watchings often, and hunger and thirst and fastings often, and cold and nakedness. So he was going through a lot of stuff, man. Paul was going through a lot of stuff, but the Lord said, what? I will show thee how great things thou must suffer for my name's sake. So he had to go through all that for a testimony, and it all builded him up to go from Saul to Paul. So, right. So this is 2 Esdras chapter 7 and verse 6. It says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. So, right, it's a small road. It's a narrow road, as if it's fire on the left. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. So you ain't got no choice but to go straight. What Dory say, just keep swimming. And what Dorothy say, follow the yellow brick road. So in that situation, you can only go straight, because if you fall to the right hand, you're gonna get burned. And if you fall to the left hand, you're gonna drown. And if you fall down, you're gonna fall off a cliff. It's set in a dangerous place to fall. So it's like walking a tightrope, So, right. And it says, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once. That's why you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, because when it's time to walk that road, bro, and that's another thing. So you got fire on the right hand side, you got a deep water on the left hand side, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall. And then on top of that, the Lord gonna put something behind you to make you to make you go faster. You know, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something on your behind, ready to bite you and devour you if you don't keep going. And that's Esau Edom with his MOTB. You know, and there's something in front of you to look forward to, and that's that city that's built on the hill, the kingdom. You know, the blessings that Yahweh Shem Shah is gonna bless us with. You know, so right. And it says, verse 9, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So we gotta, what it says, we gotta pass the danger set before it. You know, we gotta go through the great tribulation, the Jacob's trouble. You know, we gotta completely put our trust in Yahweh Shem Shah, know and understand that he's gonna be with us, and you know, through everything that we going through, man. You know, that's all we can do. It says, and if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. So right, you know, we gotta go through that fire. You know, so it says, thinking not strange, that fiery trial that is meant to try you. We have to go through that fiery trial to make it to the kingdom. You know, it says even so is Israel's portion. You know, so if it's Israel's portion, that means Israel is going to be up against somebody, and that somebody is these heathen, ultimately Esau, Edom, and his chip. You know, the Lord ain't caring about no heathen getting the chip on their side. Go ahead and take it. You know, go ahead and take it. Or whatever the case may be. I don't know how it's going to be, you know, but go ahead. The Lord ain't worried about no heathen. But Israel, the Lord said Israel better not take that chip. You know, that MOTB, man. You know, when it's all said and done with. And I'm not telling anybody to go get it. Boy, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, if you a heathen, it ain't like you're going to make it on no chariot anyways, or what the Christian church say, you're going to be raptured away. Hell no, nigga, this your kingdom, man. For this kingdom to be how it is, you voted it, or your ancestors voted for it to be this way, and put you in a certain mindset to benefit from this kingdom. Now that you're not benefiting from it, now you want to be saved. If we was deep off in slavery, it wouldn't be no damn Edomites outside protesting, saying let them go free. Hell no, they'd be right there enjoying us working on their field, feeling as if God was with them. God blessed us, man. That's what mindset they would have. You see what I'm saying? So now that they no longer benefiting from the system, they want us to team up with them and do some crazy shit, you know. And then once we do some crazy shit, are we still gonna be 3/5 of a man in your eyes? Or you gonna be our friend for a good 50 years, 60 years, and then go back? You know what I'm saying? That's why we ain't. You know what I'm saying? We ain't for the system. 3%ers to 1%ers, whatever percenters. We for Yahweh Shai. You know, in the building up of His kingdom. You know, 2/3 of our people, they don't even want to hear it. So it gets to a point to where we eat the plate ourselves. But this is a book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. So right. You know, straight to the point. Christian's favorite scripture. We can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens us. You know, and that what? Keep the law to the best of our ability in a wicked society. You know, just to prove to the Lord, you know, do the works, have faith. You know, just to show the Lord that we for Him. You know, when it's all said and done with. Because you ain't going to be justified by the law, saying you're going to be saved by the law, but we ain't finna just go out here and just be completely wicked. You know, we're going to do our best to please our Father. You know, why 2/3 of our people miss the mark, you know, fall off the deep end, you know, just be as sinful as they possibly can and enjoy this kingdom with Esau. And then when all hell start breaking loose, they get to crying and screaming and moaning and groaning, just like these wicked little Eves out here that were just all ran up and jumping on that one girl. And as they walked away, man, I'm still putting the precepts together. Because I hadn't got out. I was about to break up the fight. I was like, man, they ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You know, they went to the girl house. They that bold to go to the house. What you gonna do when them Gurkha troops or them wicked niggas come to your house? The ones that make it out of prison, them Venezuelan gangs and all them people, cartel, whatever, come to your house because ain't no food. And that day, them same people that were just moving so wickedly gonna be acting like they was so righteous, man. And that's the thing, man. That's a nigga for you. You know, and somebody taught them to move in that manner, man. And that's the thing, man. So as they was walking away, I said, man, we need Jacob's trouble. You know, we need Jacob's trouble. Like, it ain't no way that you that prideful. So it gets to a point to where what? I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. We could do all things in righteousness through Yahweh Bashem Yahshua that strengthens us. So now we know to duck, the wickedness of this world, duck that MOTB, duck this artificial intelligence that this devil pushing, not take none of these elixirs that he pushing. You know what I'm saying? Just walk according to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, man. That's all we can do. I pray this lesson was edifying. Shalom on to the next.